We have him on the phone.
All right, Ethan joining the show now. He is a candidate for Putnam County Sheriff. It's Kevin McConville. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Good morning, Lou and Ethan. Thank you for having me on your show.
Sure.
You got it. Let me just lay the groundwork here. So yesterday I published an article, and the article is about a piece of mail, a letter that's been sent out to Putnam County voters as it regards you. There are claims made in the document that you're racist and discriminatory. They look like court documents, but I wasn't able to verify that. So, I mean, it's just some really nasty claims made here about you, that racist, discriminatory. One incident has a plaintiff saying that you said you were going to have sex with his wife. I mean, some really nasty stuff. And I always get a little nervous about publishing these things. You know, on the surface, all I'm publishing is here is information that was sent to someone's house. But that could also, with people, with the era that we're in, that could be very damning to you. So we wanted you to be able to get a chance to explain what is going on here. So what was the court document? Is it real, first of all?
Yes. In many years ago, I was one of 8 people named in a class action lawsuit as chief of the MTAPD. Depositions were taken by all the attorneys. Subsequent to those depositions, the MTA asked for and was granted summary judgment. And summary judgment means judgment rendered by the court because no material issue of fact exists. All the accusations and allegations against me were dismissed. In a civil litigation, there's a lower burden of proof that the facts and allegations are more likely to be true than not. That's the proof, the burden that has to be met. And the person bringing the suit convinces the judge there's a greater than 50% chance the claim is true. That didn't happen in this case because it was untrue, and the judge removed me from the lawsuit. As chief of the MTAPD, working with our Office of Civil Rights and Recruitment, we had a 49.4% representation of non-white personnel in the law enforcement agency. My recollection is it was one of the top 3 in the tri-state area. And this is clearly an effort by my opponent and his campaign team to smear me. I don't want to get into dirty politics. I don't believe in that. You know, he's named in 8 lawsuits, one of which is a wrongful death suit. He's tape recorded public officials from his department cell phone and released that recording to his campaign team, which was then put on the internet. And he claims that all 106 of his department cell phones are tape recorded. Now, my question is, does he understand how this affects every crime victim or witness who calls a member of the sheriff's department, especially with the new discovery laws? So I don't want to get into those things because I respect the office of sheriff far too much to play dirty politics. It's undignified to do that, and it speaks more to his lack of integrity and character than anything else. I had a great 30-year career as chief of the MTAPD. I rose through the ranks. This lawsuit came about. The accusations and allegations against me were dismissed by the judge.
Do you consider yourself a racist person?
Not at all.
Your opponent, you mentioned his name is Robert Langley, correct? Because Ethan and I have not followed this at all. We do a lot of like election coverage when it gets close, but we kind of focus really in our backyard, which is Danbury and Brookfield. So I haven't been following this at all. Your opponent is Robert Langley, correct?
That's correct, yes.
When did you hear about this particular letter that was sent out to voters?
A couple of months ago, about 60 days ago, I believe, I started getting phone calls from people that were receiving it, and they were very upset because clearly it's a smear tactic. There were excerpts pulled from the suit and put on paper and sent to people, and it doesn't tell the whole story. It's a snippet, and the particular allegations that are highlighted in this letter were dismissed. They were not factually true.
Kevin McConville joining the show. He's a candidate for Putnam County Sheriff. Has the whole campaign gone this way? Has there been a lot of negativity?
It seems recently that my opponent has become more and more negative. There's, I respect law enforcement far too much. I have a great amount of admiration and respect for the people that do that, to do this work. And I want to bring the dignity and respect back to the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. That's why I'm running. I want to lead the men and women there. They need leadership. It's clearly not there right now. And I'm the person that's able to do that, and I will do that. And I'm looking forward to working with the men and women and recognizing their hard work and the efforts they put in and day out. And that includes not just the deputies and the investigators, but that also includes the corrections officers. The work they do is unbelievable.
This specific claim that you said something to this plaintiff's wife about having sex with his wife, did that ever take place, that conversation?
No, it did not. I mean, that just, listen, I understand people suing, claiming things, but there's a burden of proof. And in a civil case, as I said earlier, it's much lower. And if you look at that allegation, it's disgusting. And if there were people, if this was allegedly said in front of people, by all means, they would have come forward. And no one came forward. It's untrue. I would never do that. I'm at a loss to explain it because it's just so far out there. It's disgusting. I wouldn't stand. If I was in a locker room and I heard someone say that, believe me, that would be resolved right then and there.
All right, Kevin, we appreciate you. Listen, these are really serious claims that were made against you. They were sent to people's mailboxes, so I thought it was only fair to give you a couple minutes to address it. And it was nice getting a chance to talk to you. We appreciate your time. If your opponent does reach out to us, in fact, I'm probably going to extend the invitation between now and Election Day. We will have Robert Langley on as well. It's just fair. I want to get everybody's side of the story. That is, if they want to. But I'm just letting you know that's out there.
Absolutely. That's fine.
Kevin McConville is a candidate for Putnam County Sheriff. We do appreciate your time, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Lou and Ethan, thank you very much, and have a good day.
You too.
You too, man. Wow.
It's wild stuff, man.
There's a reason not even, to get into a situation where you have to be elected and then you have, I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, dude, I know what you're talking about.
Because we don't know what's true, what's not true, and I certainly want to believe Kevin.
Right, you don't want to believe that conversation took place because it's awful, right?
And I don't want to believe that someone would just intentionally slur another individual to make his campaign negative. And now he's got to go, court and the whole deal.
Well, no, that's all gone. He said that's judge, years ago.
Right, oh, okay.
And he was removed from the lawsuit. So there you go. Wild stuff. Whew, heavy. Cool.
Very heavy.
Coming up on the show, Ethan, we're going to get into, what time is it? Missed headlines. All right.
Well, look,
I don't know how I find myself in these situations after all these years. Listen, I love our show. Yeah. I love doing interviews like that are serious.
And you're good at it.
Well, thank you. But I also, it's a little uncomfortable for us because it becomes an almost never-ending thing. Because as many sides of the story as there can be, you have to try and get them all. And then by the time I look back, I go, how did I get here?
Yeah, that's an issue.
What did I do?
Could be an issue.
To find myself in step 18 of this process. Mm-hmm. We find ourselves embedded in things that had nothing to do with us.
Correct.
All right.
Okay. That's why